Hello everyone, I am making oats, milk and turmeric today, and this is my take on oats, milk and honey. This oil is a mix of my base oils infused with annatto seeds, and I'll just show you what annatto seeds look like. Don't know if you can, let me just... It's basically what annatto seeds are like. They stain everything they come into contact with. They're not too bad dry, but the minute you get them wet, then they give off this lovely orange hue. And I've also got my honey infused in this. So the first thing I am going to do is basically get my oats into the oil and my turmeric before I add in the lye water, the lye milk. So this is my oats. This is organic oats I've ground down myself, and it's a kind of like a semi-fine coarse grind. It's not too coarse, but it's not too fine either. It's enough to give an exfoliating action once it's in the soap. So it's not like colloidal oatmeal that you can't feel it at all. So I'm going to put that in. This is my organic turmeric powder. And I have my fragrance pre-prepared, and this actually contains turmeric oil, which is it's a very good oil. It's very anti-inflammatory. It's got a very pungent smell to it, but it's a really nice smell. I think if you like spice oils, it's kind of spicy but earthy as well. It's lovely, I really like it, and I've got it mixed with things like geranium and orange, and so it's really, really lovely. So I'm going to put all of this in. I don't know if you can notice the hue of that oil. It's very, it's almost like neon yellow. Okay. So I am going to mix this in now. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention was I actually used red palm oil in this as well. I do not use palm oil in any of my soaps apart from this one. When I first started making soap, I did use palm oil, and it made fantastic soap. It made it really hard, and it's really bubbly, and it just had a nice kind of feel to it in your hands. And just finding out a wee bit more about palm oil kind of made me decide that I don't want to use it in my kind of master-based recipe. So I modified my master-based recipe, so I don't include it in that. But this palm oil actually comes from, it's a small organic family farm in Ecuador. And I mean, the reason why I don't use even sustainable palm oil from Malaysia and Indonesia, because it doesn't really address the problems that palm oil causes in that part of the world. The palm oil that I'm using from there, I've sourced it from a small family farm that's totally organic and sustainable as well. So they don't have any kind of detrimental agricultural practices. And I use it because of the properties that it imparts. It's really high in vitamin A, and also because of the beautiful hue. It does give a very deep orange colour as well. Okay, so I'm going to, I think that's kind of mixed in. Let me just give it a good... Okay, so I'm going to mix this in. I'm going to have to work a wee bit fast because I've not got much battery left. So I don't usually try to like film me blending it up because of the noise factor, but I just want to show you how the colour kind of transform as you're like mixing the kind of soap batter together, the lye and the oils together. It's a really beautiful shade of orange. It's very deep, very luscious. I'm just going to pause it here because I want to save my batteries. Okay, so I'm going to do, this is quite, it's not thin trace, but it's not medium. Between a thin and medium trace. It's probably going to get thicker as we speak. That's my mould. I've got little embeds from oat milk, a previous batch of oat milk and turmeric. And I just coated with a bit of red reef clay, and I'm just going to pour it in. Yeah, it's getting thicker as we speak. Just remove this. Okay, so that's me getting another warning for my battery. So I'm going to leave it there. I might just make a slight swirly pattern on top with a cocktail stick, with a skewer, sorry, and leave it at that. Okay, so I'll come back for the cut. Okay everyone, I am back to cut up my soap into logs, and this is a colour that it's cured to, well, almost cured to. So it has paled up a bit, but it's still absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these up and we'll see what's inside. I'll do it this way. Oh. Very nice. It's, I imagine that you're going to see a lot more of it when I cut it into bars, because you're going to see it across the way. But that's the kind of effect the square, well, the embeds are giving. And it's nice because the embeds are like maybe like 2 shades lighter than the soap, so it gives a nice little contrast. Okay. Okay guys, so I'm about to cut these into bars. I just wanted to show you that there's some little air holes. I think there's a few in the other logs as well. Let me show you. Like, there's some on the sides. I don't really mind that, that's going to cut off. But that can happen sometimes if you pour quite thick. And even though I do bang it on the ground to try to get rid of them, if it's quite a thick batter when you pour, then you're going to get some air holes. That's absolutely fine.